What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB coming to you tonight with the review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 8, episode number 12, and it's titled Up All Night. So, you guys, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. Had to make sure I had my other earring in. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna start the episode in Atlanta, since there wasn't really a lot that transpired in Atlanta. So. We see Stevie, he meeting up with Not Face Ass Martin, aka Hiram, and you know, they are scouting for some talent. And I'm like, oh, y'all scouting for some talent, or y'all scouting for some, I'm gonna say it. Y'all scouting for some talent or scouting for some pussy? Which one you looking for? The pussy or the talent? Probably just the pussy, not the talent. So then on the stage, we happen to see Akbar V performing. And I'm listening to Akbar V perform. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Then I looked at that tight ass skirt she had on. I'm like, damn, don't look like nothing breathing down now, cause like that shit is tight as the fuck. So you know, then Akbar finishes performing, and you know, she goes down there and sing with Not Face Martin, and you know, Stevie J. And you know, they just talking about her music, and I'm like, okay, so. You want me to believe that you guys are scouting for Akbar V, the same girl who told us she has 5 albums out that ain't nobody heard of, but just randomly y'all scouting for talent, and she just happens to be the talent that y'all scouting for. Y'all want me to believe that? Is that what you want me to believe, Mona? Is that what you really want me to believe? Because if it is, I don't know how stupid you think I am, but ain't nobody buying that bullshit. And then we also see that Sierra is there. So, you know, Sierra sits down with them. And Sierra's like, oh, you know what, Hiram? I want to talk to you about Pooh. You know, me and Pooh and BK, we went to, you know, where the hell did they go to? Cancun? And, you know, I was like, whoa. This is a business meeting. And Hiram said the same thing, like, this is a business. We're not going to sit here and talk about nothing with my wife. This is business. So I'm like, okay. If this is what's in the script that Mona said, that this is business, but this is also bullshit at the same time. But again, you say Mona said business, we're going to say business mixed with bullshit. But again, business. So then, you know, Sierra look over and be like, oh, so here go Uncle Stevie too. So, you know, I had a conversation with your nephew, Scrap. And, you know, he was just talking about how when he was in jail and he asked you to come down to the jail, you didn't come down there to the jail to, you know, help him out. And again, Akbar's like, bitch, wrong place, wrong time. Like, what the fuck? Like, you got to get the fuck up out of here. And I was actually on Akbar's side. Even though this is fake business, you know, cooked up by Mona, it still was an inappropriate time to bring up, you know, your beef with Pooh, you know, Stevie and Scrap's beef. It was just inappropriate timing. But again, like I said, it was bullshit, and we all know that, so we're not gonna fall for it. So after this situation is over with, we see Stevie. Stevie goes and meets up with his nephew Scrap. Y'all, don't nobody believe that shit about Scrap being his nephew. That's like, you know, when you're growing up, if your mom and dad went together and your mama had a little boyfriend that was your uncle, that's what I think Stevie and KK was. Fuck buddies who Scrap and Sass just called Uncle Stevie because, you know, your mama didn't want you to know that, you know, that was her piece of dick that she was getting. That's neither here nor there. But, you know, Scrap, they meet up, and, you know, Stevie's like, well, you know, I met up with your friend Sierra, and, you know, she was a little upset. He was like, yeah, you know, she's probably upset about what I had told her. And I'm also upset too. And Stevie said, you know, Stevie's like, you know, I know why he's upset with me. And, you know, Stevie had to break it down for Scrap the same way that I said in my last 2 videos about Scrap, you know, upset with Stevie. Stevie had his own legal fucking issues. So if Stevie had went down to the jail, more than likely they were going to lock that nigga up. So why would Stevie put his, I mean, I get it. You will want somebody to be a character witness or whatever it is that you wanted. But again, you want Uncle Stevie to come down there and be on your side. when Uncle Stevie got his own legal fucking issues. Child support for one. Like, they would, if that nigga had shown him to the jail, they were gonna make an example of that nigga and lock that nigga up right alongside of you. And then you gonna be like, well, damn, nigga, I asked you to come down here to get me out, and then your black ass is locked up beside me? So, yeah. But, you know, he says, cool. So then he says, okay, since we still, you know, talking about shit from the past, let's bring up this shit with Tommy. And, you know, Steve is like, you know what, when it comes to Tommy, never touched her. But, you know, she did pull out the beefcake. I'm like, oh, God, Steve and his beefcake. But eventually, those two patch things up and they move on. Now, you know, for him to say Tommy pulled out his beefcake, Tommy, like, you couldn't go and do a Google search on Stevie's beefcake, because I'm pretty sure if you do a Google search, like that video he did with Eve, and then there was a picture that came up with that. Now, that video of Eve, man, I was looking at her just going into town on herself. I'm like, well, damn. Okay. But yeah, okay. We're going to move on. All right, then, you guys, we are over back in Trinidad with the bullshit. So the bullshit picked up where the bullshit left off last week. You guys remember, you know, Pooh pulling out the Depends, and that looked like a scarf or like a pillow sheet that you know, Pooh was talking about Carly shit on. Like, that was not an actual sheet. And even still, like, if it was a sheet that Carly shit on, why you still got it? I'm still baffled by it. Like, why you still got a sheet that, if you say she shit on it, what the fuck we still doing with the shitty sheet? Like, why you done burn the shit? But she's talking about she kept it for proof and evidence. Bitch, what? That's nasty as the fuck. So, you know, Pooh leaves, and, you know, she pulling a Kenya Moore, she's twirling, and then she's twerking as well. And I'm like, oh, God. So then, you know, like I said, Pooh left. So then you see Mimi, she goes behind Pooh, and she's like, Pooh, what the fuck was that? Like, really? Come on. And then, you know, Shekinah and Rashida joining behind Mimi. And Shekinah is like, you know what, Pooh, I feel like you came here with, that was premeditated, that was pre-planned. Like, you came here with that in mind, because who the fuck comes to a dinner or a lunch or whatever it is with some Depends and supposed shitty sheets? And she was like, well, you know, I know how Carly is, so I had to come prepared. Like, again, that makes zero sense. What the fuck we keeping the shitty sheets? The Depends was funny, but the shitty sheets, my nigga, if they are in fact shitty sheets, well, which, like I said, it looked like a scarf or it looked like a pillowcase, but what the fuck we still keeping that shit for? I'm hella confused by that shit. And, you know, Rashida basically tells Pooh that, you know, both you and Carly are petty, but, you know, y'all just gotta figure out a way to get past it. Then we see Carly over there crying to the other group, talking about, you know, I just wanted y'all to see my home. I've been trying to get y'all here for years. Shut the fuck up, Carly. Like, really, shut your ass the fuck up. Oh, God, I want her to shut the fuck up. I just want to reach for the TV and slap the shit out of Carly. I really did. Because she, like, really, we doing this for what? For what? For what? All right, you guys. So then later that night, we see Carly. So she takes the group, minus Pooh, to her family's home. And, you know, they're going there just to have a good time in the party. So then we see one of Carly's aunts. And, you know, she was shaking Jock's hand. And Auntie had a good-ass grip on Jock's hand. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck is going on here? Like, somebody explain this shit to me. So then, you know, Mimi pulls Carly to the side, and, you know, she said that, you know, basically she didn't know that what Pooh was, you know, I did not know that when we got here that Pooh was going to pull this bullshit. And, you know, yeah, she just said she didn't know that Pooh was going to pull that bullshit. And, you know, so she asked Carly, like, what would it take for things to move on with you two, basically? And in order for Carly to forgive Pooh, she wants Pooh to admit that she lied. So then we see Jock, Kirk, and Scrappy. They outside, and, you know, they asking Jock, is it odd being here with your ex-girl's family, with your new girl here? And he was like, yeah, like, that shit is hella odd. He's like, I really originally wanted to stay back, but, you know, it is what it is, and it's all good. So here we go with shout out to Roxanne with the Frost facts. Oh God, Kirk and Rashida. Kirk and Rashida. Like this scene, if you ain't never thought the shit was fake between Kirk and Rashida, this shit right here was either really fake and really fucking stupid. So, supposedly, Kirk's phone is just going off. Like, vroom, 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 vroom. And his phone is just going off. And like, man, it's Jasmine. You know, I gave her my phone number and, you know, she keep texting me back to back. And then she sent me this long paragraph. And, you know, the reason why I gave her my number is because Kelsey don't want to be the middleman no more. And, you know, I ain't even told Rashida that I gave Jasmine my number. But, you know, when I met with Jasmine and her mom and her grandma, they wanted me and Jasmine to have better communication with one another. So, you know, I just don't know what to do right now. You know, I want to be there for my son. Like, if something happened to him, I want to be there. And I'm just like, nigga, you sound stupid as fuck. Because he's talking about, you know, Rashida really don't want me to have no contact with her. Nigga, we are a little bit too late to not have no contact with Jasmine. We are, how old is baby? How old is Cannon? Like, what, 3? 2? 3? Like, we way too late past the point of having any kind of communication with Jasmine. And if Rashida is, in fact, telling you not to have contact with your other baby mama, Rashida's as stupid as she looks. Like, you got to be fucking joking with me. Like, he has already stuck his dick in her, had a baby with, blasted up the club, and had a baby with her. Like, what the fuck more? I mean, what are we doing? Like, seriously, for Rashida to, I no, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to this and believe this bullshit that Rashida don't want him to have contact with the baby mama because of what? They've already had sex. They have a baby. What the fuck are we doing now? Explain that shit to me, Rashida. Explain it, make it make sense, because it does not make sense whatsoever. So you want a nigga to be a deadbeat daddy? Is that what you want? Yes, I get it. You probably still in your feelings about him having the baby with her. Get over it. The little nigga here, you gotta let that shit go. Oh Lord. But you know, Jock and Scrappy tell Kirk, like, hey bro, you gotta tell Rashida, like, you got to be real with Rashida. Yes, my nigga. You got to tell your wife that is your child. Like, what? I'm done. I'm done ranting. I am done ranting. So we're going to keep it pushing. So, you know, then we go back inside where Carly's family is. And one of Carly's cousins, she's talking about Jock. And I don't know if it was Tokyo or I think it might have been Tokyo or Bambi, one of the two. You know, she was talking about how she don't like Jock and whatnot. And then, you know, like I said, I think of either Tokyo or Bambi. And they were like, well, you know, his new girl's right here. And then, you know, instead of her saying, you know what, oh shit, girl, I put my foot in my mouth. You know what, my bad. I ain't really trying to talk about your man like that. You know, he did do my cousin wrong, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here and dog your man in front of you. No, what she said was, I don't like him. I don't like him. First of all, who asked you? Second of all, who gives a fuck? Third of all, you need to put the top and the bottom lip together and shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do. Like, you were just being messy, just like your messy ass cousin, Messy Red. Like, No. All right. So the next day we see the girls. They are split up. So we see Mimi, we see Rashida, and we see Pooh together. So they are at, I guess, a mall. It looked like a mall. And they shopping, and you know, Mimi's like, I felt bad because last night we all went to Carly's family's house, and Pooh had to stay at the hotel. Well, Pooh stayed at the hotel because Pooh started some bullshit, so that's why Pooh was at the hotel, because she started some shit. So you know, they asked her like, Pooh, yeah, what did you do after the melee when you and Carly? She was like, oh, you know, I went to the bar and I had some fun, and you know. Yeah, she said she had some drinks. So, you know, Rashida's like, well, do you think you and Carla could at some point peacefully coexist with one another? And she was like, they told her, like, if you do, like, you got to come at Carly correct this time. Like, you can't come at her on the bullshit. But that is what Pooh is, bullshit. And she's like, you know what? I'll give it one last chance for Carly. And then they go to a counter, and Mimi's like, it's true what Spice said. They do sell it at the counter. And I'm like, at first it took me a minute to figure out what the fuck is she talking about. It was the bleaching cream that was at the front counter. I'm like, oh, okay. And Pooh was like, you know what, I need to get some, for my elbows and for this and this and that. I'm like, okay, what the fuck ever. So then we see Bambi, we see Carly, and we see Kendra. So they have split up, and they have gone, Carly is showing them around the local market. And, they talking about what happened the night before with, Carly's family. And Kendra's like, you know what, it's all good. It's not, it wasn't that much. Girl, you a lie. They talking about your man in front of you, but you walked away. You did the mature thing, and you walked away and didn't start any shit. So I'm gonna give Kendra an A for that one, like, because I don't know if I would have been that calm to walk the fuck away. I would have said, what, I probably would have to catch myself and be like, you know what, you are invited guest in somebody else's home. Don't show your black ass. I probably would have to tell myself that. More than likely, I probably would have to tell myself that. So then, Bambi is talking about how fucking crazy Pooh is, which we all know that bitch is crazy. And, Carly, because Carly told them that, Rashida and Mimi are with Pooh. And, Bambi tells Carly, like, basically, you need to take the high road at this point. And Carly's like, you know what, you right. And I'm like, you know what, Bambi, you wrong. You expect Carly Red, Messy Red, to take the high road. Girl, that's like telling her, like, oh, Carly, look, the sky is purple. And you expect her to be like, yeah, girl, it's purple. She's gonna be like, no, girl, that shit is green. Then, it might look a little bit of red too. Like, I know I'm being facetious, but, telling Carly Red to take the high road never will happen. Never is gonna happen, because she's gonna always come back at you with some other bullshit. So then we see Mimi and Rashida. They show up, and Mimi is like, well, Carly, can I pull you to the side and we talk? So they go to the side and talk, and I'm like, wait the fuck a minute, Mona. I know you didn't do what I think you did, and Mona did what she is known for notoriously with Love and Hip Hop. If they don't have a table separating them, there's a car separating them. And I wonder who the fuck car they got in Trinidad. Like, whose car was that? I hope they don't fuck it up. Like, when it is always a car or a table. Because if you remember Love and Hip Hop Miami with Prince and Chaotic. Chaotic jumped in their car. What else? Last season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood with A1 and Safari in their car. Y'all, I'm so ready for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I swear to God, I am ready for Hollywood. Like, I had so much fun reviewing Hollywood last year. I had so much fun watching Hollywood last season. I am excited for Hollywood, because Hollywood will be here in a few weeks. Literally, it'll be here pretty soon. Like, damn. Because we on episode number 12 of Atlanta. But Hollywood always typically comes back around my birthday, which is July 16th. It was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, yep. Actually, you know what? Love and Hip Hop Hollywood might premiere the day before my birthday. I know we have a 2-part reunion, and it's usually like about 14 episodes. So we on 12, 13, 14. Actually, it could come back early July, but that's neither here nor there. So where we at? Where am I at? Oh yeah, the car. So Rashida and Mimi want Pooh and Carly to talk. So Pooh pulls up, and Carly was like, she just basically, in a nutshell, she wants for Pooh to admit that she lied so that they can move on. So shit got dicey right here. I didn't put this in my notes because I want to talk about it. So some shit got dicey. So then, you know, Carly is like, you know, when it comes down to when she said, what did she say? She was talking about, you know, she's okay. The recording that she played for Mo. She was talking about, you know, my dude, Noah, you know, my dude. I stopped talking to you when I got with my dude, and you know, he know about everything. Like this was, he was like, baby, that was before me, so he ain't worried about it. I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes, stop the track, let me state facts. I told you, give me a minute, and I'll be right back. Like, pull the Beyonce out on you, stop the track, and let me state facts. Like, let me state this fact. So, for her to say that that was before her, so there is some truth to what Pooh was saying. Like, got to be for you to say that that was before him, and I, you know, she might want to try to play words that the friendship was before here. Mo, nah, bitch, you said that that was before him. So there is some truth to what Pooh says. I didn't believe it at first, but now that she didn't realize that she backpedaled and pussy popped, like she backpedaled. Oh, shout out to Alex for that one. But yeah, you backpedaled like a motherfucker. You doggy pedal back, like goddamn. Like you said that was before him. So again, there is some truth there. And then, you know, Pooh was like, girl, if you don't want me to, you know, do this for your daughter, I'll say whatever you want me to say. And, you know, Carl's like, she don't get it. Nah, bitch, you don't get it because you just said that was before Mo. So, again, there is some truth. You know, there's a great line. There is some truth between what Carly is saying and what Pooh is saying. Who's telling the truth? Nobody knows. Nobody gives a fuck at this point. We are 12 episodes in and we still talking about this threesome between Carly, Not Face Martin, and Pooh. Why? Let's let it go and move on. But I know we're going to have to talk about it at the reunion. So, but now we moving right the fuck on. So, you know, then we got Rashida and Pooh and Mimi in the van heading somewhere. I guess they were heading back to the hotel. I don't know. And, you know, Rashida's like, well, you know, Carly played for us. Carly played. I'm trying to do my Rashida voice. I'm trying to do Rashida because she talks so country. You know, Carly, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get it together. But Rashida said, Carly said that, you know, when it came down, she played a recording for us. And, you know, Pooh was like, yeah, that bitch lied to Hiram, talking about her daughter was around. And then, you know, Pooh plays this recording of a voicemail of Hiram saying that, you know, he lied, basically, and that something did happen between she, Carly, and him. Again, don't give a fuck. That would be Rashida. We gonna move on because I already missed it with Rashida. Right, guys. So next we got a cute scene with Bambi and Scrappy. They going out on their little date with one another, and you know, Bambi is just telling him about what happened with the day, how, you know, Carly and Pooh made up so ratchetly with one another, and you know, shit. So then we find out that Scrappy wants another baby, and the Bam is not ready for another baby. Like, she just pushed out a baby. Like, give her some time. At least give her like a year or two. Like, give her time to decide if she wants to have another baby. Like, god damn. Excuse me. So then while they talking, Bambi drops a little tea on Scrappy. And she's like, you know what? You know, Kendra was talking about how, you know, she don't want no other kids. And she was trying to talk Bambi out of not having kids as well. And Scrappy's like, whoa. So, you know, she don't want no kids with the cuzzo? Like, oh, okay. Let me stop real quick. Did anybody notice in Bambi's, in her green screen, that she got her teeth done? You know, her teeth like them, you know, like when you, that wind up toy with the teeth that just, that's how her teeth looked. They're nice, but they just look like that wind up toy with the teeth that just go. But, you know, her, like I said, her teeth are nice. So we're just going to move on. So then we got Shekinah. her and Tokyo, they going outside to check on Carly because they're getting ready to go out for the night. And, you know, Carly is sulking. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about now? So she said that she was, you know, she's talking about this curfew that Mo gave to her. And they were like, girl, fuck that curfew that he gave to you. What time is it? It's 2 a.m. here. It's like, what, noon or something in Atlanta? Like, girl, fuck him. You coming out with us and we having a good fucking time. So, and then she's like, well, that's not all that it is. It's also about that messy bitch. And they're like, what messy bitch? She's like, really? Y'all know what messy bitch I'm talking about. Pooh. Oh, and then she tells them what happened with Pooh. And I'm not going to reiterate this shit again. Because, again, like I said, there is a great line where Carly is telling a bold-faced ass motherfucking lie. So then we see, Jock and Scrappy. And they talking before they get ready to go out. And Jock is telling Scrappy how he's getting ready to pop the question to Kendra. And then Scrappy's like, well, you might want to hold off on that, cuzzo, because, Bam, she was telling me that, Kendra was trying to talk her out of having more kids. And then the fact that Kendra don't want no kids herself. And, Jock is just like, damn, man, I didn't even know that. Like, that's blown me completely the fuck away. So he don't know what to do at this point. So then we see them, they head out to Jam Nation, and it looked like it was actually a really good time. So the party was late at night, but the real party didn't get started until the sun started to come up. So then, we see Jock. Jock is over there dancing with a bunch of girls. And then one girl in particular, he poured some water on her ass, and it was Pooh. And, Kendra turns around and go, I'm like, well, God, I'm like, even my face dropped when I saw that. I'm like, ooh. And my face dropped because I was looking at Pooh's ass, and I'm like, her ass looks deformed. So then, Kendra pulls Jock to the side, and she was like, so why are you pouring water on her ass? Like, that's mad disrespectful, Jaceel. And, she goes off on him. And then he was like, oh, okay. So this what we doing? This what we doing? This what we doing? Cool. I got your number. I got your motherfucking penny, nickel, and dime hole. Like, I got you. So, I had a conversation with Scrappy, and Scrappy was telling me that you told Bambi that you don't want no more kids. But, we done sat here and had conversations about it, and you ain't never once told me that you don't want no more kids. And Kendra's like, well, Jaceel, I ain't got time for this because you drunk. Wouldn't it be like a good time to talk to him, because he more than likely he would never remember the conversation? But okay, Kendra, if that's what you say. But Kendra is like, you know what, fuck it, Jaceel, I'm leaving. So Kendra dips out. And you guys, that was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later. So, before we go any further, I'm really sitting here debating if I'm going to review Black Ink Crew Chicago. I might review it tomorrow. I don't know. It's hidden. It's kind of hit or miss right about now. I'm not 100% sold on doing this shit. And it's not the show itself. Like, it's not the show. What it is for me with Black Ink Crew is draining and it's tiring. Like, it just went off a few months ago and now it's back again. Like, that's my thing with Black Ink Crew New York and Chicago. You don't really get a break with those two shows. They come right behind one another. Whereas with Love and Hip Hop, yes, Love and Hip Hop is year round, but you have different cities. You have Atlanta, you have Hollywood, you have Miami, and the dreadful ass New York. So you guys, I'm just really debating on doing that one. If I do drop it, I am adding 2 new shows coming up in the summer, because I was talking about I needed some new shows. So I am adding 2 shows. I'm going to binge watch Snowfall and be ready for it when it comes on in July. And I'm going to binge watch Pose, and I'm going to prepare to review it when it premieres. I think it premieres next week. So I'm gonna try to do that, and I'm going back to reviewing Claws. I know I started Claws last year and I stopped it. And the reason why I stopped it because of the BET Awards. Like last year when the BET Awards aired, you guys remember I did watch the BET Awards and I did my review the same night. And I did watch Claws, but I didn't review it. So what I think I'm going to do is when the BET Awards airs, I am going to watch the BET Awards, but I'm not going to watch it I might watch it that night. I might like record, Real Housewives of Potomac and Claws and review those, and then watch the BET Awards and post the BET Awards on that Monday when I post my Love and Hip Hop video. That's the plan for right now. And also, if I do drop Black Ink Crew, I'm thinking about picking up that show Love After Lockup, because I hear so much about it. So I might drop Black Ink Crew Chicago and pick up Love After Lockup. But right now it's just kind of in a gray area right now. So just stick with me and we'll figure it out. Oh, and also I know I asked last week, would anybody like to see Basketball Wives? I made that decision for myself that Basketball Wives is out of the fucking question. I'm not reviewing that shit, period, point blank.